that statement at that time in my life was impactful. When I was a sophomore, our high school coach, whose name is Don Smesnik, approached me and said, "Hey, and a lot of my friends back then called me Jimmy." He said, I was walking in the hallway, and he said, "Jimmy Ruhlman, I want to see you in my office at 2:00." And I said, "Well, I've got class." He goes, "I got you a pass." So I go into his office, and he said, I want you to move up to varsity." And so I told him I really didn't want to. And this coach played for Woody Hayes at Ohio State. And he was a bit intimidating to me. I knew of he was a very successful coach, very structured, very disciplined, and I could tell he was disappointed. And he almost said it in a way that it wasn't an option. And he says, "I know you're good enough to play up here. I'll see you at practice tonight." So I show up at practice in my JV stuff that's just hand-me-downs from varsity. It's all too big, and he looks at me and he says, "You need some new gear." And so go through practices the first few days, and at the varsity level, it's much different than at the JV level. And he was trying to help me and coach me through things. And I remember vividly one day after practice, or I didn't have the greatest of practices, and he came up to me and he said, I just want you to know that I am getting after you because of the way you're playing the game right now, not because of who you are." He said, "I love who you are. I'm just trying to make you a better football player." And that statement at that time in my life was impactful. He was able to separate the game from the person. And after that moment, I just felt like no one could stop me. And I feel that way today. I have this mentality that no one person or no group of people is ever going to bring me down. Every time I lined up as a tailback, I'd look at that linebacker across the line of scrimmage, and I was bound and determined that he wasn't going to bring me down, the safety wasn't going to bring me down, and the corner wasn't going to chase me down.